But after this, you and I have been on break.
We've been on holidays, Ando, and we've been hanging out over the weekend, but I've got a way for us to see who's come back from holidays having experienced the best stuff.
Okay, it's Hamish
Because it
Andy.
is a contest.
It is, isn't it always? Haim, we have both been on break. You were in Italy, and I was travelling through Europe. And you've said to me, like,
I know we've both had a lovely time.
This often happens between the two of us. Is we don't we catch up. We had a beer over the weekend. We catch up and said, "How's the trip?" It's like, "Oh, it was all right," but we don't want to tell each other anything because we want to save it for the radio.
Because what if there's some fun in it for the radio show? So here's what I was thinking. Yeah. I'm sure lots of interesting things happened to you while you're away. Yeah. Like, they aren't great stories. Like, you're not going to tell me about this for 5 minutes.
Yep.
But it just, I suppose, more fascinating tidbits.
Yeah.
From the trip.
Yep.
I would like to propose a fascinating tidbit battle.
Wow.
Okay. So here's how I think it could work. Yeah. So we get people to call now on 131060, and we will select a judge from the people per battle. Yep. Right. So someone rings up, and then I might go, "Oh, Ando, I ate a 3 kilo pizza," and then people go, "That's a pretty interesting tidbit." Yeah, and I might go, it was mozzarella, and I went prosciutto on it just for extra difficulty.
And then I say, in Denmark, there was a lot of bikes.
Yep.
And they have specific trolleys for dogs so they can bike their dogs around.
Okay. And then someone will listen to that and go, "I'm going to give it to Haim. That's a way better story." No one cares about the trolleys. Because Haim gave us some real insight into Italy. and
how big his pizza was.
Andy sounded made up.
No, mine was true.
No, I know. But I mean, that's just how it could go because the judge's decision will be final.
Okay.
So try not to do ones that sound made up.
All right. 131060 now.
Yep.
Give us a buzz.
Can you believe I had a 3 kilo pizza? Mine was made up, actually. I didn't eat a 3 kilo pizza. And I don't think the impressive dimension of a pizza is always its diameter.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
No one goes.
It just had 3 steaks.
It was 3 kilos, but it was a mini pizza. So pretty dense pizza.
Stacked high.
It was 2 stories high.
Okay, so how many tidbits are we going?
Let's go 3.
3, okay.
What are we calling this? Fascinating tidbit battle? Okay, yeah. So 3, we just need 3. We'll randomly select 3 people. We've got a bunch of people calling in. Yep. Be honest, and try and give reasons as to why you enjoyed the tidbit.
Haim, we've both been on a couple of trips.
Yep.
And you've invented a game which will determine which one of us had a better time, I guess.
Who saw the best stuff or had the best stuff happen to them? Yeah. Who's come back richer with experience from their European trip? There can only be one winner, and the loser has to admit that their holiday was a waste of time.
Okay. Great.
Which I really hope isn't me, because I went with my wife and child, and we were actually just discussing this morning how it was the best holiday.
Well, it mightn't be, though.
But I might have to retract. I might have to go home hat in hand and say to my wife, I need to say something to the family.
Well,
their holiday was a waste of time.
Well, don't let that sway you, Michelle, as you join us now.
Be fair.
Be honest.
Michelle, you're our first judge. Welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Ahoy.
So Haim will explain how this works because I'm not sure.
Okay, so Michelle, the way I think this could work is Andy and I would just explain one of our tidbits that we've picked up on holidays, and just quite simply, whichever really floats your boat the most, just award that the best tidbit title. It'd be great if you could have a reason why you like it the best, but the judge's decision will be final. Now, and I'm just looking down at my 3 here. Yep. I don't have a particular order for mine.
Neither do I.
I got a weak one.
Okay.
Like, I do have a weak one that I need to protect. I just don't know if I should lead with the other 2, which are stronger. One's an absolute guarantee. One's a draw 4 wild, can't be beaten.
So you think why don't you start with that one?
I might. No, I'm not telling you which one I'll start with. Okay. Michelle, can I ask a quick question first?
No, don't try and get an idea of what you like.
I just have, this is like jury selection.
No, it's
I just
not.
have to ask
just
one.
Get into it, mate.
I have to ask one question.
6 tidbits.
Michelle, have you ever seen The Real Housewives of Melbourne?
No, I haven't.
Okay, I can't use one.
No.
Okay.
I've seen the American one.
No, it doesn't help me.
You can't do that again. That's off limits. Go for it, Ham.
So, Ando, nerve-wracking. Do you know, here's something. Obviously in Italy, I was probably eating 1 gelati a day. The actual authentic way. Do you like gelati, Michelle?
Oh, come on, mate.
Yep.
The authentic way, the real old school way of eating gelati is you scoop the ice cream into the cone and then they put whipped cream, like they've got like a salad bowl full of whipped cream that they pop on top.
All right.
And we don't do that here in Australia.
Okay, I hope that's your week.
I had to go with my weak one.
Michelle,
I really enjoyed it. And it was amazing.
Michelle, I went
and Bruce Willis was there.
Michelle, I went to a pub in Belgium that had over 2,000 varieties of beer.
Okay, I'm more confident now.
And I expected to see a lot more taps, but it's actually bottles. And then it makes more sense because the kegs obviously are large. But
I feel a bit more confident now because that wasn't a great tidbit.
Come on,
Yeah.
one pub over 2,000
I feel like
beers.
we've got that in Australia.
We don't, because it's the only place in the world that has it.
I think we've got one in Brizzy that's got 3,000.
We don't, Michelle. Who are you
Anyway,
going with?
Michelle, what do you think?
It is close because they both involve food and drink, which are both great options.
Pretty interesting.
I think I'm going to lean towards Hamish only because I do love gelato.
Oh, this is unbelievable. Okay, let's
I
get
feel
to the
good,
next
Eddie, because
person.
that was absolutely my weekie.
I can't believe you won with that.
But that is actually interesting. Cream on a gelato.
Darren joins us, mate. Let's see if we can level this up. I won't lead the witness like Hamish does. I'm not going to try and find out what you potentially are into. But Darren, I was in Denmark, mate, and I went to a theme park called the Tivoli, and they had the second oldest wooden roller coaster in the world.
Good. Who's got the oldest?
And I asked the guy, and he turned to me and he said, there's a place called Luna Park in Melbourne.
There you go, Darren. So yet again, another story where Andy could have had a better experience in Australia.
So, but
It's going to be hard to top.
Okay, he likes it. Darren,
I like it.
he liked it. Darren,
Yep.
hi, and welcome to the show, by the way, mate. It's great to have you on.
Thank you.
This is amazing. And I've got photographic evidence to prove this because it sounds made up.
he's using his big one to try and take a 2-0 lead.
I was walking, we were in Florence in Italy. Now, normally associated with being a city full of ancient wonders, I saw a modern wonder. Ran into a guy from China. I found out he was from China because I had a quick chat to him. Had a backpack on his front. And I thought, that's all right, that happens. Then I noticed it was a solid yellow plastic backpack and it had a porthole in it, like a bubble, a plastic bubble. And inside was his cat. He'd bought his cat on holidays, and it was in this little sealed bubble of a backpack, like a catstronaut.
Okay, so the fact that you said Castronaut is probably what's trying to get you the edge here. But
What do you think, Darren?
Darren,
That's bloody amazing.
second oldest wooden roller coaster, a guy carrying cat.
Sorry, Andy, mate. I think you're gonna have to take the loss here, mate. I think Hamish should go back
I really did say I'm going to put a photo on Instagram of the catstronaut.
We don't go to the third.
Well, let's try. For redemption.
mate. Hamish Andy.
No, I want to use my good one.
No, it's Hamish Andy.
Catherine?
Catherine, bad
Can
luck.
you hear us?
No, it's Hamish Andy driving you home. Hey, we'll have that in a little moment's time, because first up is a return of you.
And I have advised against this.
I want another chance at... Look, not having to say my holiday was a waste of time, I suppose.
Yesterday on the show was our first show back after holidays, and we played a game where we compared anecdotes from our holidays, and the people decided who had the better anecdotes. I was able to win 2-0, which meant that you had to declare your holiday a waste of time. Is it double or nothing?
Yeah.
So what?
That's how that works.
It was twice a waste of time for
Yeah,
you?
doubly a waste of time and nothing for you. Or... Hey, we have just returned from break, which we both went on holidays. Yesterday, you said you wanted to form a game.
Yep.
Whereby we both say an anecdote, a tidbit.
More of a tidbit.
More of a tidbit from a trip. And a jury out there, people can call in, and they can call in now 131060. They decide whose tidbit was better.
We do need judges. The people of the People's Show, always the best judge.
Yep.
I certainly think the judging was flawless yesterday.
I certainly think it was flawed.
We had
You
three tidbits
You were
each.
trying to butter up every single person. It was.
I didn't try and butter them up. I just got a gauge of who they were and what tidbit they might like. And that's it. And that's just a classic. That's just a guy that has a lot of tidbits. And he's reaching through his mixed lollies going, and maybe you're a sherbet, maybe you're a snake, maybe you're a pineapple.
You were engaging in conversation with them.
That's an enjoyable part of tidbits.
No, it's not. You're engaging with conversation not only to try and skew your story to what you think that they may like,
And I'll do it again.
but also to try and get them on side.
Well, it's all I can hear is someone crying foul. Someone crying foul that
that's exactly what he's doing.
that is blaming.
Your hearing is working. I am crying foul.
Blaming the other side for being too good for their loss, and that's not a reason.
I agree that the guy carrying around a specially formed front pack made out of a solid plastic with a porthole front to show his cat around.
Guy from China.
Florence.
Guy from China had his cat in Florence in a little house on his chest. How are you going to beat that tidbit?
That deserved the
I
win.
might even play it again today.
That deserved the win.
Yep.
But seeing gelati have a little bit of dollop of cream on top.
That was an interesting story.
It was
about
not better.
How I found out
a
at the
pub with over 2,000 varieties of beer.
I feel like that happens a lot of
No.
times. I feel like
It only happens at this pub. It's the only one in the world.
Yeah, I've had several nights out where I've said, "What have you got on tap, mate?" And they'd list 2,000 beers. It's happened. But finding out that in Italy they serve ice cream sometimes with whipped cream on top.
Yeah.
Very interesting. And rightly so did it go to me for that
Okay,
tidbit.
so that's how you won 2-0. So I'm asking for a rematch.
So if you weren't listening yesterday, the punishment was Andy had to declare his holiday a waste of time because he hadn't got enough good experiences overseas and it was a waste of time and money for him. Now today, if you happen to win...
Yep. Can we do this then?
I don't think I should. I think because I'm one win clear, all you can do is tie up the series.
No, how about this? If if I win 3 in a row, it's like a 5-set match.
Yeah.
So if then you have to declare that your holiday was a waste.
Well, now you're just going to excite people to give you the win.
No, I'll encourage everyone to be fair. Listen to the tidbits.
Just looking down at my list. I talk about the Russians making out in the pool for an hour.
Okay. 13, 10, 60.
See what kind of person I got on the line.
We'll tell you what we saw, and then you can award it to see whose tidbits better. Yes, at the moment, it looks like I'm staring down the barrel of the holiday, which was a complete waste of time, but maybe I can claw this thing back.
I feel like you're just setting this up for an underdog win. No, I do not agree to those terms, and we'll play next.
Everyone loves an underdog. Remember that.
No. Don't give it to this very, very arrogant, wounded hound.
13, 10, 60. Rachel joins us. Rachel.
Ahoy, Rach. Ahoy, Rach.
Sorry for the bickering.
Don't know if you heard
No, all good.
Did you hear yesterday's show?
I absolutely did. And, I actually agreed with Andy's 2,000 beers as being a more interesting story.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely
what a surprise. We've got a biased judge on the line.
No, put that out of your mind, Rachel.
Right.
And Haim, do you want to lead up with a tidbit?
Hey, Rach.
Yep.
It'd be you would have come across the Real Housewives of Melbourne before.
I've actually never watched it. No.
Go with it, Ham.
I tried this one yesterday. I didn't get a nibble there either, but I'm beginning to think I've got to play it. Well, on it, there's a lady called Chica. She's one of the Real Housewives, right?
Right.
Ran into her in the pool in Italy, and her husband bought me a gin and tonic. Now that has got pools, overseas, celeb spot, husband drink shout.
Pretty good.
Sure,
actually.
right, okay.
And she was lovely.
Nice.
We had a lovely time.
Rachel,
Yep.
I saw a hedgehog, like a live hedgehog in Sweden,
And then
and it looked at me.
this didn't happen.
It-
If you say it winked, this is complete BS.
It looked at me, and then when I walked closer to it, it did that thing where it rolls up in a ball. Didn't roll
natural
away.
reaction.
Natural reaction, but it was very impressive.
Sorry,
to see it
hedgehog.
roll.
The rest is pretty good. Now, when I saw Chica, no one could have predicted her husband would buy me a gin and tonic.
If she rolled up into a ball when you moved closer
That would
to
have been
her,
a natural reaction.
that would have been better. Who are you going to go with?
Oh, no, and I'm basing this solely on my trip to when I went to America, and I was so excited about seeing squirrels.
There we go.
I'm going with the hedgehog.
Yeah,
I think that's way more exciting.
This is a complete stitch up.
2-1.
That had Andy's mum's friend written all over it.
No, Rachel just knows a tidbit when she hears one.
All right, Andrew. Andrew's next. Ahoy, Andrew.
Ahoy, ahoy.
Ahoy. Okay. You've heard there a little example of how the game can be so easily thrown.
Yeah.
But I urge you to be an impartial judge.
I'll try, but I just want to say welcome back, boys, and Andy, happy birthday. Keep it going, buddy.
All right. Thank you, Andrew.
Way to butter him up, Andrew. He does still insist we celebrate not only birthday month, which is May, but birthday year, which is this year
Okay,
and
cool.
every year.
Play on.
Andrew, I I walked past, I was in Florence, in Rome, home of a lot of galleries, and I was walking with my wife and child past one of the big galleries there, where you got to queue up, huge queue, and people sit down against the wall because it's such a long queue and they're waiting for the gallery to open.
Sure.
Saw a guy asleep in the queue wearing a T-shirt that said "Beast Mode Permanently Activated." Found it amusing, Andrew. And so you got local stuff, you got a little bit of a laugh. Meme worthy, really, if I could have been bothered taking a photo.
Andrew, I was riding my bike down a street in Antwerp, in Belgium, on my way to a museum.
Sounds made up.
Mm-hmm.
And the entire street had women in the windows.
Oh, you're in a sex district.
In nothing but their underwear. But, like, the street went for 500 metres, and they're all waving.
Just because you've gone on
I've never seen
sexy
anything
cruise.
Like it. Never seen anything like it.
Of course you have. You actively sought it out.
Didn't realise.
Show me your Google Map search. I bet it says "Sexy District Antwerp" in it.
Yeah, this has got red light written all over it, but
it was I
don't know. You can't go past a good beast mode though, so I think the men's going to have to take it.
Oh, Andrew! I'm out. I went to 1-1. Now, do you want to play on for the victory for today, Ando? Because now it's 1-1.
Okay, I don't, but we may as well. But Andrew, didn't appreciate your birthday jaunt. Knew you weren't on my side. Wanted to tell you to piss off earlier on, but the game was still in play. But
on your bike, mate, and ride off to your red light district with your binoculars and your trench coat.
Okay, just for glory here, or for honour for Hame, Luke joins us. Hame, what's your tidbit for Luke?
Luke, how are you, mate?
Ahoy, boys.
Ahoy. God, I was probably going to save my Real Housewives card for you, Luke, but I doubt you watch Real Housewives. Just for my own peace of mind. Do you watch Real Housewives of Melbourne?
No, sorry, I don't.
I knew it would have been based on you. No, this is my real tidbit for you, Luke. Luke, while I was overseas, I actually met up with my dad and stepmum for a few nights, and we spent a bit of time together. Over dinner one night, Luke, in Italy, we're having a beautiful dinner. My father confided in me that his lifelong dream, and I'm not making this up, was to own a mid-sized commercial duck farm. And I said,
he could have told you that in Australia, though.
Yeah, but it required the specialness of a holiday. Andy, I've known him for 34 years. He's never opened up to me like that. I'm telling Luke about a beautiful father-son moment, and I said, how many ducks? And Dad said 200 max. Now that, for me, Luke, was a wonderful insight into my dad.
You can do that anywhere in the world, Luke. Luke, I was in Sweden.
Well, you can go to a sex district anywhere in the world. They're not specific to Antwerp,
Well,
mate.
you don't have sex districts like that here in Australia.
Oh, you've looked, have you?
You know well. Anyway, Ham, in Sweden, there was on your beds, on a double bed.
Got double beds everywhere in the world.
Yeah, but you don't have this. 2 donors overlapping.
I've seen that before.
And often, each person, apparently the couple, like traditionally, there'd be a hotter doona for someone who, sleeps a bit colder.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah. That's... Luke, that's pretty interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's all on you, Lukey. What do you think?
Oh,
They're
both
both
top
good.
level stories.
On one hand, you've got my dad wanting to run a 200 duck farm, or Andy's story about 2 doonas on one bed.
Oh, sorry, Andy, but I think it's going to have to be the duck farm.
It's a 4-1 loss.
I should say, Luke, as soon as Dad opens the duck farm, you got the first duck off, straight off the rank.
Thank you. Thanks for nothing, Luke.
Champion, Luke. Smart play.
Hey, first 2 days of this week, we discussed our trips overseas.
Yep.
We put out tidbits from our travels. And
we were both in Europe, largely in different parts of Europe to each other. We did catch up a few times overseas, but largely in different areas. And we saw different things on our trips, and we brought them back.
We had a contest.
Essentially battled each other with small, fascinating tidbits from our trip to Europe.
And whoever was deemed to have the least fascinating tidbits of the 2 of us was had to announce their whole holiday as being a waste of time. Got an email in suggesting that both of our holidays were a waste of time.
Interesting. Hey, I listened to all your tidbits, and it was 5v5, so there's 10 tidbits all up. I'll run through mine really, really quick as fast as I can remember.
Yeah.
One was about gelati, how in Italy they put cream on top of gelati.
Yeah.
I won with that. Another, I saw a guy with a specially made backpack that had a porthole in it. He was wearing on his front. He had his cat in it. He was from China. Saw him in Florence. I won with that.
It's okay. Okay, we can go through them a bit quicker.
All right,
mate.
another one I saw, Chica from Real Housewives of Melbourne in
Who
the
cares?
pool.
You lost.
Well, and her husband Bruce bought me a gin and tonic. Yeah. One where my dad told me it was his dream to run a mid-sized duck farm.
Yep.
And God, I can't even remember my other
It
tidbit.
doesn't matter. The thing is, that shows everyone the level of our tidbits. I saw a hedgehog in a bed with 2 dooners on it.
You rode through a sex district in Antwerp and pretended it was an accident, which it definitely wasn't, because you've got Google. I know for a fact you paid for roaming, so you could have avoided it.
Anyway, Haim, we were shocked and appalled at the fact that he thought both of our holidays were a waste of time, this person.
I saw a guy in a funny T-shirt asleep.
So what we thought we'd do is make up an ad to experience Europe.
Yep.
Just include the things we saw and to see how appealing it is.
Experience Europe. A place of wonder and intrigue, where in Florence you might walk along the ancient cobblestone roads for your chance to meet a Chinese guy carrying his cat around in a plastic travel module with a round porthole viewing window.
Ni hao.
Well, there he is, guys. Geez, the cat really does look like Tom Hanks in Apollo 13. What an amazing continent.
Why not travel to Scandinavia and immerse yourself in the culture of Sweden, where they have 2 dooners on a double bed?
Geez, that's one more dooner than you'd regularly have. More than I'd have, anyway.
Yeah.
Or see a hedgehog in a suburban street.
Wow. A hedgehog.
Yeah.
This is an amazing place.
Experience Europe. Pretend to be lost in Denmark and stumble upon the sex district, where women stand practically nude in shop windows.
I didn't pretend to get lost. I legitimately rode down this street on my way to the museum.
Oh, so why did you come in to see me, sir?
That didn't happen either. I just rode on by, everyone.
He's lying. He threw me some money. Quite a lot of money.
Experience Europe. And be sure to head to beautiful Sicily, where bonding with your father hits a new level.
This is the dream, Dad.
One of the dreams, I mean, my other is being able to run a mid-sized commercial duck farm.
Really? How big?
No more than 200 ducks.
That is mid-size.
Experience Europe. The home of duck dreams, dooners, and some other historical rubbish that you may as well visit if you can fit it in.
Shall we see the statue of David?
What's the point? I mean, we've already seen the catstronaut guy, so he's one of a kind. Lots of Davids.